Welcome to my channel. My name is Simon Hill. Thanks for clicking this video. Hit the like button and subscribe. I'm a Black American who's been traveling the world and documenting my experiences. Currently filming this video in Pristina, Kosovo in mid-June 2023. On my channel, and what motivated me to start my channel was to share my experiences about what it's like to be a Black person abroad, and also give help and guidance to other Black travelers, because there is a severe lack of content related to that on YouTube and elsewhere. I keep it real, I keep it raw, I keep it Black, I keep it uncut. About 3 weeks ago, I released a video on my channel, the latest installment in my Black Shit series, about dealing with being called racial slurs while abroad. It's something that will happen to every Black traveler to some degree, whether that be being called a racial slur or whether it being disrespected just for being Black while abroad. I released that video and YouTube demonetized it and also shadow banned it, and it didn't grow as much as my other content, which is usually related to Blacks. I do these videos to spread my message because my voice is very important, because I'm living a life that not many other Black Americans will ever have the chance to live. And I think it's important that I share my experience and my advice as I see fit. Now, while YouTube and the powers that be might try to silence my voice, as they do many other Black creators on YouTube, it's been well documented that other Black creators don't get the same reach as white creators when they're making similar content. I will still continue to fight and struggle to make sure that the battle against white supremacy and respect for Black lives across the world is done, period. So I'm doing this video again, not to see if it can get monetized again, but to make sure that the message is clear. The message is clear for other Black travelers on what to do when we are faced with situations where we are dehumanized and denigrated. Fuck. Now, since making that video about being called racial slurs abroad, two things happened that reminded me about why it's important to talk about this. I was in Turkey a few weeks ago, and my wife was chopping up the video for our second channel, Backpack Bandits. And it's a video in there about us being in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, that last week. And I was in a cafe or a restaurant with my wife having a good time and partying, and one of the Africans said, "Nigga," to me, as in nigga. He was trying to be helpful, but he was trying to get my attention by using that word with me. Another situation that happened last week, I was in Novi Sad, Serbia, when a teenager decided to say to me, "Can you smile, nigga?" and laughed about it amongst his friends. Two very different situations, but both of the contexts are important. Now, in the former situation, of course, the person that said it to me was Black, and in the latter situation, the person that said it to me was white. I am not here to litigate who should say it, who has the right to say it. My point is this: we should not accept being called that, because we are not niggas. We are not poor, uneducated, crude, ignorant people, which is what that word means. It was a word created by the slave masters and the people who seek to dehumanize us, to take away our humanity. I often think about the story of Richard Pryor when he first went to Africa. When he got off of the plane, his friend said to him, "What do you see around you?" And Richard Pryor said, "I see beautiful Black men, beautiful Black women, beautiful Black children." And then his friend said to him, "Do you see any niggas?" And Richard Pryor never used that word again in his stand-up. Very inspirational story for me. Do I use that word in my personal life? When talking to my friends, when writing my own raps, when listening to music? Of course I do. Do I consider it paradoxical or ethically wrong to say that, we shouldn't be using this word and allowing this word to be referred to as us and still using it? Yes, I can consider that paradoxical and contradictory. But the fact of the matter is this, and this is just the truth of the way of the world, that I have to live and deal with the consequences of being called or considered a nigga. I have to deal with the consequences of other people having prejudices or presumptions about me before they even get to meet me or talk to me based on that. And that's why I feel like it's okay. So while other people might use that word to be cool or fashionable, or even use it to be derogatory or demeaning, we have to deal with those consequences. Even if I never use the word again in my life, if those words never came out of my mouth ever again, other people would still use that word against me. And that's the big difference. Now, in the first video I made about this topic, I gave 4 pieces of advice on how to deal with it. The first one was ignoring it. If some people say it to you, they're probably ignorant, uneducated, and just brush it off your shoulders and move on. The second piece of advice I gave when that situation happened is to educate people. If you're talking to somebody and they want to get close to you, or you're trying to get close to them and they use this word around you or any other demeaning term that exists for black people in their language or in their culture, educate them as to why it's wrong. The third piece of advice I gave was to roast them. If people choose to denigrate you because of the color of your skin, show no mercy in denigrating everything they hold sacred. Their culture, their religion, their nationality, their ethnicity. Use your gift of gab. Use your words to destroy them. Roast them to death. The fourth piece of advice I gave was for self-defense. We don't advocate for violence on this channel, but if you feel like the disrespect is at an intolerable level, do what you have to do and handle your business. Now, I don't know why YouTube found those 4 pieces of advice controversial, not worthy of allowing my video to be monetized and shared to a wider public, but I hope now it does, and I hope now other black travelers consider this. And also, non-black viewers who are watching this video who know that racism and anti-blackness exist in their country, educate other people as to why the word nigga should not be used in reference to black people or any other derogatory term that exists in languages for black people. Now, as I said before, I'm filming this video in mid-June in Kosovo in 2023. And even though I'm having a great time in this wonderful country, I know there is a high probability that one day, if I stay here long enough, that I will be denigrated because of my race. Because it has happened in every other country that I've been to. There have been anti-black stereotypes and anti-black messaging that's been put out towards me in every other situation. Now, past activity can't predict future performance, but there's a high chance. My final point is this. We live in a world antithetical to black expression and also hostile to black life, proven in the fact that my previous video on this topic by YouTube, a white-owned company, chose to silence my voice, but I will never sit back and sit silently as our people are disrespected across the world. I will always, always advocate for us as well as all dispossessed and oppressed people. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for glory. I don't do this for fame. I put my blood, sweat, and tears into speaking out against anti-blackness and white supremacy in the hopes that my voice will make the world a better place once I'm gone. That's all I have to say. Peace.